prophecy.
Dante's Inferno isn't fiction, it's a prophecy. Someone created a plague.
I don't know if I should wear my glasses in this or not. I'm just a blur over there on the screen. Oh, it's okay. We could be here all day with this. Hello, children. Inferno. Now, I know the immediate question is going to be, should you watch this movie if you haven't seen anything out in theaters yet? And I will just say, I just want to go back to this really quickly. If you have not seen Madea Goes Boo, Madea Goes Boo is the one to beat, honey. I'm just saying, but I'm just saying that's the one to beat. So this one is with Tom Hanks. We've moved on from Madea Goes Boo. This one, Inferno, it's Tom Hanks, and this is the series Lost Symbols. Lost Symbols is the book. The Da Vinci Code was the movie. Angels and Demons, also the movie and the book. So this one follows in that series. I get confused because Lost Symbols was the third book, and Inferno is the fourth book. I've read all of them. I got sucked into it. And Inferno, though, is the third movie, so what have you. And now I just heard that they're coming out with another book next year. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Origins, so there'll be another one. This will be the fifth book, but they'll probably turn it into the fourth movie. So this movie's not going to go away for a minute. It'll still be around. So this one is about Tom Hanks, and he's back as Robert Landon. He's trying to stop a plot where someone is trying to wipe out half the Earth's population, and what he's trying to figure out is how this ties into him, because he's somehow implicit in the plot, and how it ties into Inferno, Dante's Inferno. And Dante's Inferno in the book, it's used heavily as a story, and it's like a teaching tool, and it's like a metaphor for what's going on in the plot to use a disease to wipe out half the world's population, because what's going on is that the person trying to wipe out the population feels like the world is overpopulated and the planet can't sustain at this rate, and the humans on this earth can't have a certain type of life. So he's trying to get to the why and really the why someone would want to do this, and the why someone would want to wipe out the populations. He's trying to get to that. And Inferno, Dante's Inferno, is just used as this great story to kind of tie in, and it's like a metaphor, and it's foreshadowing. It's used really well in the book. They didn't really go into great detail. Da Vinci was so heavy in the first movie that it would only made sense if they went heavy with Inferno and this, and they really didn't. They just touched on it. So I think that's something that kind of hurt this movie just right off the bat. Tom Hanks is good. Tom Hanks is great in this. He's not the problem. Let me tell you who I was really, we'll go back to Tom Hanks. Let me tell you who I was really impressed with and I was really excited to see is Felicity Jones. And in my head, throughout the whole movie, it was kind of like Felicity Jones is in this movie because she hasn't fallen into the wormhole to make it to the parallel universe where she's in Rogue One yet. So in my head, she's just temporarily, God forbid I just say she's an actor, but in my head she's like just temporarily visiting this space before she makes it to Rogue One. So I was excited to see her in this, but really I just kind of kept thinking to myself like, Rogue One. So she was kind of a distraction. It was nice to see her, but it was just, her face was just a distraction the whole time to Rogue One, which I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's her fault. So that happened. She's in the movie. She's a big part of the movie, but she's not really central to the movie. It's still a Tom Hanks movie. It's a good movie. If I'm taking it, this is how I'm judging it. This is the problem. I'm taking this movie as the book to movie. As a book to movie, it's decent because it's giving you the infernal story and it's doing its best to make it an action movie and not so much a very heavy history lesson. Like I said, they're not going into Inferno the way they really should. But I think they didn't want to tone down the movie and make it boring. They wanted to make it an action movie. They wanted to make it a chase movie. And that's kind of what it was. That kind of was the whole movie. They didn't get into big scenes about, the history of it. And I mean, it's shot in Italy, so it's so gorgeous. So you're getting, like, the history of the city. The backdrops are beautiful. But they really didn't go into, like, much of, I guess like a lesson in the story and into like Inferno, and they didn't dive into it the way they did in the book and the way I wanted them to go into it. But I think they felt like it just would have slowed down the whole pace of the movie, which makes complete sense. So what they did was just chop a lot of that out. And if you want it, you read the book. But the movie itself is really, Tom Hanks trying to stop the virus from getting out and stopping like a plague. Because if he doesn't stop the plague, half the population is wiped out. So really, it's like a countdown. The movie is a countdown clock, and that's basically what it is for a good hour and a half, which I'm fine with because it kept good pace. It was exciting. It was like going. He's got to hurry. He's got to figure this out. What's nice too in the writing is what part does he play in all of this, because he is somehow connected to this whole plot, and he has amnesia, so you're not sure and he's not sure, but there is a connection, and there is a little plot twist in there. It's not huge, it's not big, it's not gonna like blow up the whole movie, but there's a small plot twist in there, and it's fine and it works. And part of it is him being connected to the heist, which is good, which I enjoyed. So that was good, that was fine. So that story is good. But what they're doing is cutting a lot of the Inferno story. So if you're coming from the book and you're just like, oh, but... So for example, the trailer. If you watch Inferno, the trailer, you're going to think, oh my God, they gave away the whole plot, the whole movie in that trailer. If you're coming from the book, you know, oh no. You know there's just so much more to go. So I think that's a little bit of a disconnect where they're trying to make this movie as book-like with a ton more action and just making it movie palatable for an hour and 30 minutes, if that makes sense. Which it works. It's just I would have liked more of the history and more of the backstory put in this. And they did that in Angels and Demons, and they did that in the Da Vinci Code. But those movies too are a lot longer, like 2 hours, 2 hour 30 minutes. This one's an hour 30. So either they did a lot of cutting, or they were just trying to make the movie as compact and as action-paced as possible without being weighed down by a lot of narrative. Ron Howard said when he's directing, he doesn't look at this as a series, which I find to be a problem because it's written as a series. He looks at this as individual movies that could stand alone. Again, that's a problem because when Dan Brown's writing this, he's writing it as a series. So you should be filming it as a series. That's why we're here. Who is this movie for? I think it's for book people. I think it's definitely for anyone who came from the book. But if you enjoyed Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, you're going to want to watch this one. Just remember, it's more action-packed. Just go into that frame of mind, and I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. You get to see Felicity Jones in something like in a warm-up before you get to see Rogue One. So that's also fun. What do I give this movie? My problem was I wanted the Inferno movie in full frame. I wanted it in, more true to the book. So for me, it's a 7. It's a solid 7. I think other people who are going into it movie-based might give it an 8, but I couldn't go any higher than a 7. I'm sorry. The pacing is fine. The action is fine. It's fine. But the story needed more. It needed more. The name of the damn movie is Inferno. You needed to go a little bit more into the layers of Dante's Inferno, since that's the whole movie is about, and less into the countdown clock for the virus. I mean, come on. That could have been your last 20 minutes instead of really a good 3/4 of the film. So I give it a solid 7. Decent movie. It's good. It's Tom Hanks. It fits in the trilogy. It works. But it could have been more true to the book series. So who's going to see this? I definitely think anyone who came from the books, anyone who's coming from the Da Vinci Code, the movies, is going to want to see this. And if you've already seen Medea Goes Boo, you can go see this. Otherwise, if you're just coming off of, you might want to see something on the weekends, I only recommend it if you're diehard into the trilogy series. Otherwise, you might actually want to go just look for something else, because you could probably just catch this on a DVD or streaming if you're not that invested in it. So, solid, because it's a solid 7. So that's what I'm saying. Take your money somewhere else if you haven't seen the other movies. So solid 7. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to see it. I mean, they could have talked just a little bit more about Inferno. Hello. Alright, you guys, that's it for me. To go the great show on it. Live long and prosper. Guys, bye. Po. Po. I'm just saying, if you haven't seen Medea, it's still playing, and it won. Excuse me, it won the box office. Hello.